Hello YouTube, it's IttyBittyBlackAlien here. That's Alien with a Y, not an S. And today we're going to cover in the Lilith series, Lilith in Taurus. Before I get into the video, I would like to let you all know that I have done an introduction video, which I pretty much went into deeper explanation of Lilith, like to the depths. And of course I put a little comedic twist to it because that's IttyBittyBlackAlien and that's what I do in all of my videos. I went really deep into the explanation and I gave y'all some raw, dirty ass information about the dirtiness of Lilith and just how nasty and freaky she can be. So go check that video out. It will be in the eye in either this corner or this corner somewhere. I need to figure out which corner it is. And just click that video so y'all can get a deeper explanation of Lilith if you don't know what Lilith is all about in astrology. Okay, before I get into it, I would like to let you all know that I do birth chart reading, so hit me up at s.island55 so you can find out about your sun, moon, rising, and your Lilith. You get a much deeper explanation of your birth chart when you hit up the queen of astrology, you know what I'm saying? And also follow me on my social medias. And before I get into it, I would like to go over the poll for this video. I post polls on my community tab on YouTube and I ask questions usually related to astrology and the zodiac signs. And the question was, out of these signs, which do you think is most likely to be lifelong friends with Scorpio? Out of Taurus, Virgo, Leo, and Libra, and Taurus was the winner with 42%, which makes complete sense. Although Taurus and Scorpio are opposite signs, like I'm a Taurus and I personally have a very strong attraction to Scorpio energy. You know that saying opposites attract is definitely the case, so I understand 100% why y'all voted for them. And then Virgo was the runner up. I see Scorpio and Virgo was vibing because they both are prone to being serial killers. And then there's Leo, which was third, and then Libra, which was the least. I don't know. If you're a Scorpio or a Libra, do y'all like each other? Because I'm neither one of those signs, so y'all let me know. Thank y'all so much for voting in this poll. I really appreciate it. Now let's get into the topic of the video. Hold on, we can do that better. No, you know what? I do this every video. Like, I really be trying to hit these notes. Lilith. I don't know why I'm acting like I can't sing. Girl, stop pretending. Lilith and Taurus. Shut up, girl. Just shut up. Lilith and Taurus. Now, this is a very interesting placement, okay? This is one of the most sensual, most charming, most attractive placements to have. My biggest celebrity crush, who I mention very often in my astrology videos, actor Michael Fassbender, has a Lilith in Taurus. Oh, he fine, child. And let me tell you, Lilith and Taurus people are very attractive to a lot of people. Okay, and this man is very attractive to a lot of people. There's a whole freaking Tumblr page dedicated to him called Brown Girls Love Fassy. Okay, he's very desired. Lilith and Taurus people are very attractive to people. Okay, even if they're not like the most attractive person physically, there's something about them that draws people towards them. Now, Lilith is the perversion or the corruption of each zodiac sign. It is the darkness of that zodiac sign. It's the dark side of your personality, honey. It is the dark side of your sexuality. It's a very sexual placement. It affects your sexual fetishes and your sexual fantasies and all that kinky stuff that you most likely wouldn't talk about. Having a Lilith in Taurus, this is the sign of the hedonist, okay? Someone who is so indulgent. They're so indulgent to their own detriment. They're so indulgent that it may start to affect them negatively because they go overboard, okay? This is someone who could be a sex addict, someone who could be addicted to drugs or addicted to alcohol, someone who's just so self-indulgent that it could take over them if they're not careful, This is someone who has a very deep fascination with food. Okay, you love food. You may be extremely passionate about food. You may love to talk about food. You love to cook. You are someone who likes to explore different restaurants and try different foods. Anything that appeals to your senses is very important to you. You love the finer things to a point where you may go overboard. and you may end up with a STD because you have too much sex, or unplanned pregnancy, or things like that, because you just gotta get it in. Like, you just gotta get it in. Like, you just gotta feel that feeling. This is a very, very sexual placement. Sex is very, very important to you. You're an extremely sexual person. You think about sex all the time. It don't matter what your sun sign is. You think about sex all the time. Sex has a huge influence on the way that you feel about life. You're one of those people that pretty much you feel stressed out and burdened if you don't have sex. This is a place for someone who can be incredibly greedy. Like, you crave material possessions, and you crave financial stability so much that it may make you just take from people without really caring about, giving it in return. In extreme cases, this could be a thief, someone who steals from people, someone who is capable of fraud, someone who pretends to be someone that they're not so they can be able to take money from somebody. This is someone who is very much obsessed with money to a point where you fear not having it. Lilith and Taurus people have a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear, especially when it comes to finances and being able to live the life that they've always dreamt of having. You're always like stressing about, am I going to make enough money? You're a really, really hard worker because you are afraid of not having financial stability. So you're very, very motivated, okay? You can be a very, very hard worker. But on the extreme end of it, you can be extremely lazy, because Taurus is very indulgent and lazy at times. So you can be really, really lazy. You can be somebody that goes from extremes of like working really, really hard, like too hard, and then bouncing to being too lazy and, struggling to find the balance between the two. With this placement, you will literally do anything for pleasure. You will do anything to be able to have your senses stimulated. Because remember, Taurus was the 5 senses. So this placement is all about your 5 senses. This is someone who is addicted to feeling their 5 senses. This is someone whose 5 senses are heightened more than the average person. Like, somebody else is eating food and they're like, that was good. But Lilith and Taurus like, this is so good. Ooh, this tastes so, ooh, who cooked this? Ooh, whoever cooked this, they put their foot in it. Like, somebody who is so passionate and vigorous about their 5 senses. Someone who really, like, when you taste something, you really taste it. Your senses are extremely heightened with this placement. And when you have sex, your orgasms are crazy. Okay? So it's understandable with this placement to be addicted because your senses are naturally heightened. You're a very physical person. Physical pleasure is extremely important to you, and you will, at some point, get that physical pleasure. Even if it's a little bit later, like let's say you lost your virginity late. Either way, you're going to get that physical pleasure at some point, and once you start to get it, it will be hard for you to stop. Like, this is a placement for someone who could be a nymphomaniac, someone who sleeps around a lot, someone who is promiscuous, and they just like, it doesn't matter who it is, just as long as they're getting that pleasure, they'll do it. It is a part of your karmic duty, Lilith and Taurus, to try to control that possessiveness that you have. You're so possessive of people and things. Let's talk about that. In relationships, you can be very possessive of your partner, honestly, to a point where it borders on ownership. You thinking that you own someone, or having a desire to own somebody, having a desire to own the partners that you're with. And you're very clingy towards your material possessions, to a point where if somebody tries to take something from you, you're like a child and you're like, no, mine. Self-indulgence is your coping mechanism. When you stressed out in life, you go have sex, you go get that good food, you go get drunk. This is someone who is like, I've been stressed out, I don't give a damn, I'm gonna go get drunk. I don't care if I'm acting crazy, I don't care if my drunkenness make you uncomfortable, like, I'm gonna do me. That's Lilith and Taurus. They can be very selfish, and they will do whatever they need to do when it comes to stimulating their senses, even if it makes somebody uncomfortable. So work on controlling your impulses, okay? This is a very impulsive sign when it comes to getting what you want. You can be very slow moving though, because Taurus is very slow moving, very sensual. But it's like you're very slow moving, kind of on the prowl. You know what I'm saying? You looking around the room like, what woman can I, get with tonight? Or what man can I do tonight? You're on the prowl, looking around, real smooth, real confident, real, sexy, right? And then you make your move. But you make your move real subtle though. And you're very charming when you make your move. Like, people find it so hard to resist a Lilith and Taurus. On the opposite side, this could also be you rejecting the desire for material comforts. Someone who may feel a little bit guilty about needing material things to a point where you deprive yourself of material comforts and you live, you know, a very frugal, very cheap life. You can get better, but you don't allow yourself to get better. This could be someone who, you know, bounces back and forth from like really wanting to please their senses to neglecting their senses sometimes. You know, having very low standards for yourself, because the house of Taurus rules self-worth. So you may struggle with your self-worth with this placement. And you may not feel that you are worthy without certain possessions, or you may feel that you are so unworthy that you deprive yourself of material possessions. Maybe along the way in your childhood, your parents or your peers made you feel that you were just unworthy to have nice things. You know, self-confidence may have been an issue for you growing up. And your self-esteem definitely affects the way that you attract money with this placement. Since the sign of Taurus is all about security, you struggle to feel secure in life. You struggle to feel safe. This is someone who has a lot of anxiety and they're just like nervous for no reason. You know, they're just like, I just feel unsafe. I just feel unsafe, you know? They struggle to feel safe and secure, and a lot of it stems from them not trusting themselves and them not having enough self-worth for themselves. These people may struggle to have confidence. With Lilith and Taurus, you can ooze confidence whether you have it or not. You know, people can perceive you as confident. People can perceive you as sexy. Even if you don't even come off as confident, people somewhere, somehow, someone's going to find you to be attractive. Even if you're one of the most insecure people ever. You know how to get a woman or a man or whoever. You know how to get that. And this is also a good placement for being able to make money. A lot of Lilith and Taurus people are very rich and very successful. They know how to attract money. And it's not always on the dark side. Not all Lilith and Taurus people are going to hurt somebody or, you know, steal from somebody to get to the top. You know, a lot of Lilith and Taurus people just work really hard to get to the top because they have that fear of not being financially stable. You know, you have an issue with letting go sometimes. Like, this is someone who can be very, like I said, clingy. And you have a hard time letting go enough to just relax and have fun. You know, you struggle with feeling worthy enough to even have a good time. So you may be very anxious and like high strung, and you can have a big personality, but people don't even know because you hold it back, because you don't even feel that you deserve to be able to speak your mind or express yourself. So it takes you years sometimes to finally just relax and be yourself. You know, you struggle with that. You want to have fun, because Tauruses love pleasure of any kind, and fun is a form of pleasure. You love to have fun, but you're afraid to have it because you feel you don't deserve it. One thing that you need to understand, Lilith and Taurus, is that you are enough. But you have a fear that you are not, you know, whether it be intelligent enough or skilled enough, you fear that you just don't have what it takes to support yourself, typically financially. And then as you get older, you will realize, like, yes, I am. What was I thinking? You know, it's really good for Lilith and Taurus people to develop some sort of self-confidence, because if they don't, they can sometimes, you know, be self-destructive. And that could be, you know, self-destructive in the sense of drinking too much or just doing stuff that poisons your body just so that you can get a fix, so that you can escape. Lilith and Taurus people can be escapists. And of course, your way to escape is through the five senses. These people also have a really great ability to see the beauty in life. You know, someone who's very connected to nature and animals and art and music, someone who is very, very musically gifted or artistically gifted, someone who's good at just anything that has something to do with creativity. You know, you can be very, very creative, and a lot of the way that you release that darkness that you have, because Lilith and Taurus, you can be very dark, you know, very hard on yourself, and you have dark thoughts, you know, and you can also have fits of rage, you know, and issues controlling your emotions, you know, and creativity in art helps you to release that darkness, okay? Lilith and Taurus, let's talk about your emotions, okay? They can be volatile at times. Okay, I'm a Taurus sun. I'm very, very emotional. Taurus people can be very emotional. And when you put Lilith in Taurus, your emotions become extreme and you may become violent. You know, a lot of Lilith placements does manifest as violence, and that's Lilith in Aries, Lilith in Taurus. You have to be very careful with this placement, because sometimes you can let your emotions get the best of you. You can let your senses get the best of you. You can let how your physical body feels get the best of you, and then you lose all control. And you do have a desire, like no matter what, you always just feel like, I really just need to let go of control. I really just want to go crazy and just party all night and do some crazy shit. You have a desire to do that. But a good time is always something that a Lilith and Taurus desires. And a good time, most likely, you deserve. So the biggest lesson that a Lilith and Taurus has to learn is I would say, is moderation. You know, you need to learn to not overindulge. It's okay to eat your favorite food, but you don't need to overeat. It's okay to drink your favorite wine, but you don't need to get like belligerently drunk. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to have sex, but you don't need to sleep with everybody. You know, try to maintain a stable relationship so that you can have safe sex. Things like that. You have to learn as you get older how to moderate things and how to not go overboard and how to just like cut down on some things. You know, don't overspend or underspend. You know, like balance is really important for Lilith and Taurus. It's just finding a balance in all things, especially when it comes to your well-being and your physical well-being at that. All right? So that's all I have for Lilith and Taurus. Next will be Lilith and Gemini. That is going to be coming out very soon. Give this video a thumbs up and share this video with your friends, and also subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And if you haven't already, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, for real. If you haven't subscribed to me and you've been watching my videos, that's nasty. And it's disrespectful to yourself. Why deprive yourself of something so awesome? Beats me. And also subscribe to my second channel called IttyBittyBlackAlien. I'm coming out with more videos. Pretty soon I'm going to come out with a summer fashion lookbook video. It's going to be a dress edition, so I'm going to be showing off my dresses. I'm doing more fashion and beauty on that channel, and I'll be doing some crazy story times. So check that channel out. I'm going to be doing a story time on this crazy date that I went on. I'm gonna just, you know, start putting my story times and, you know, stuff like that on that channel, and just make this channel more so spiritual and more so about astrology, numerology, and things like that. So I love you all. Bye bye. Bye bye. Deuces.